Over 1.7 million Australians face housing stress with the end of Jobseeker. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, because I'd like to have a look at this article from news.com.au. It's highlighting, well, modelling that's predicting up to 1.75 million Aussies who will be in housing stress when Jobseeker ends. Now you're going to start to see more and more similar articles like this appearing in the media, where we're approaching the end of certain stimulus programs. Now, I suspect we may be entering a new age of infinite stimulus. Will it be possible for them to pull them away? What will happen if stimulus programs are removed? Will there be political will then to reinstate them? How will that manifest at the next election? Is our economy ever really going to get off life support one way or another, or how long will it take? We'll have to see. Because this is very different to what's happened in the past, guys. I know that people are comparing it to the GFC, where Ruddy was handing out, free money to people. But were people using that free money to pay off their mortgage? Were businesses allowed to trade while insolvent? Was there a moratorium on rent evictions? Were businesses propped up then, like they are with the Jobkeeper program? So it's a different time, everyone. It's going to be interesting what happens when they try to reduce these programs, because as we've seen, well, in the past, precedent would argue that things just manifest again. They implement new things. Will we see Jobkeeper 2 or Jobkeeper 3 or Seeker as well? So more than 1.7 million Australians could be unemployed in 2021 once the government's COVID-19 financial assistance ends, according to frightening new modelling. The report from the Australian Housing and Urban Research Institute says total unemployment could peak at 15.1% next year under the most severe of the three scenarios modelled. And if we bring that up here, unemployment right now we're sitting at, 6.9, or has it gone up again? Maybe I need to update that. Nope, hang on, I'm at RBA, ABS. Yeah, sorry, 7%. I need to update my chart. But 15% unemployment in their worst case scenario. Remember, this is the worst case scenario. So this is the one to scare people. But we'll have to look at all of them. We'll have to see if the RBA's worst case scenario for housing, a 40% fall, if that materializes. Because remember, the rules can change, everyone. The rules can change. All of a sudden, there could be another government program with infinite fiat to stimulate something. And I know people think that's good, but the problem is there's long-term consequences for it. That's why anyone who's advocating, we're going to, there'll be a new gold standard, there'll be new this, I can't see it happening voluntarily, because our politicians don't want to give up their power to come and appear to be the saviors and put all the costs of their saving us into the future. So even the mildest indicates that more than 1 million, or 8.7%, would be left jobless. So between 1 and 1.7 million. As of October, the ABS estimates 960,000, or 7%, are unemployed. The modelling undertaken by research from the University of Adelaide and Curtin University followed at least 103,500 households that went into housing affordability stress as a result of the pandemic. Research further suggests when Jobkeeper is phased out in March 2021, an additional 124,000 households could be tipped into trouble, with 73% of these being private renters. Lead author Professor Chris Leishman said without Jobkeeper, Jobseeker and other coronavirus supplements, the number of Australian households struggling to keep themselves afloat would have nearly doubled. Well, this is the thing, sadly. We're in a situation now where we have a culture where no one has any emergency buffers. And in some ways, you can't really blame people because so much is stripped from them. So many costs and fees. Even our retirement saving isn't voluntary. It's forced to happen. So that's why when people and the media and the banks and the bank-controlled unions or the union-controlled super funds, all of them, when they're complaining and putting scary propaganda about people spending their super money on boob jobs and things like this, who cares? It's people's money. They may be in a situation where they couldn't save enough to put aside a rainy day fund because it's all being stripped from them. And then if we add all the taxes onto that as well, even just in your day-to-day consumption, it can spiral into into some depression when you realize how much you pay, everyone. Australian households in housing affordability stress would have gone from 757,000 at the baseline to more than 1.36 million, even after more Commonwealth rent assistance has been taken into account. The policy concern is that if these highly successful government initiatives are withdrawn prematurely, almost a third of those saved from suffering housing affordability stress would now experiencing. Here again, more calls to maintain the stimulus. But then again, I mean, maybe this is how the market isn't going to correct. If you had 1.3 million people out there who can't afford their rent and then demand discounts will start leaving property, you're going to see the price of property start to decrease. You know, rental returns will go down, yields for property will go down, capital growth will go down. We can't have that. No, let's keep pumping it up. Without an extension of the JobKeeper income support measures beyond March 2021. There we go. So now they're looking to push it beyond March. The number of households living in HAS or stress is likely to increase significantly to at least 793,000 and could reach as high as 893,000. So here's the question, everyone. Do you think, and I'll have a shot of coffee, let me know in the comments, do you think we will see JobKeeper extended until the end of next year? Let me know. I'm going to have a shot of coffee. Do you think we'll be discussing this next November when we're approaching Christmas? Because, hey guys, Christmas is here. Oh, and it is Black Friday or Cyber Weekend too. You know, go out there, get your bargains. Afterpay it, and don't worry about it until next year. Then wonder why you're in stress. But do you think we'll see this continue? It's going to be an interesting political football because there will be people calling for it. Because honestly, most people that are suffering in this situation, I bet most of them it's through no fault of their own. You know, how much of a reserve are you meant to have? 6 months? Maybe people have already burned through that. A hypothetical Phase 4 of JobKeeper, which extended support through a reduced $650 per fortnight payment, could be more than sufficient to reduce the number of households in HAS below the baseline, researchers found. Yeah, but how many businesses are using this that don't need it? Or how many businesses that should shut down are just being propped up? Our research shows the number of households living in precarious employment and housing affordability situation is already very high. Serious consideration should be given to the development of further support measures that would benefit these households. Again, more calls for continued stimulus. And I know we don't want people to suffer in our modern world, particularly through no fault of their own. So I can understand why there are calls for this. But there's no mention of the price of this, of these support measures. No mention at all. It's never discussed. Is it discussed anywhere? Never in the media, never in the reports. I mean, you know, I guess it's just to paint anyone who discusses it a bad, evil person. You don't care about the downtrodden, yada, yada, yada. We're all going to pay for this in the end, everyone. If you want more affordable housing, you need to let the market correct. That involves this. They won't let it happen. Politically, they'll do everything they can to avoid it. And then it'll just exacerbate. If we keep going with a K-shaped economy, the divide between those that are in the property and those who are not in property, and property is pretty much the gold standard of measuring everything in Australia. Who are we kidding? It's our obsession. It's going to be an interesting couple of years. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts and opinions on that in the comments down below. Do you think we will see another phase of JobKeeper, more stimulus, more support? What is the craziest thing you reckon they can come up with next year? Would it be Mortgage Keeper? It'll have to be Mortgage Keeper. I'll put money on that. Negative interest rates with Mortgage Keeper. I won't put much money on it because I need to save up for my coffees. But still, let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links in Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all next time.